Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gearwire Crosstalk Shower Program, episode number 32. As always, I am your very own Mike Payne. This is Britton Weatherall, my buddy, my muse. Okay, no, not on camera, bro. What'd I tell you? And Drew Craig over there.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Drew?
Excellent.
Good to hear. And of course, Dan Augusto. What's going on, Dan? Yeah,
some rock, some stuff.
yeah, some funk.
Yeah, funk,
some
some
Barry
rock,
White.
some jazz.
Yeah, okay,
Some stuff.
nice.
Yeah.
Did you know that jazz was actually in the early 20s in America? The white people were changing it to jazz, Jass, because in Western Africa the word jazz was actually a word for sex. So if you called someone jazzy, you were calling them sexy, and the white people got all freaked out and changed it to Jass
Those
for a
white
while.
people.
You know, they ruin everything.
Well,
Goddamn crackers!
What's that? Is it the other way around?
Yeah, it was usually Jass.
Okay.
You
Damn
suck, Mike.
crackers!
Actually, because part of it too had to do with the fact that people would come by the club and like cross out the J.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I learned that from LeVar Burton.
Okay. Nice.
From LeVar Burton of Reading Rainbow? Wow!
Wow. Wow.
Damn.
Nice. Nice. Hats off. So a couple things we're going to talk about this week. First of all, we got some reader mail to take a look at. And next we'll go to the Digital Black Raven DRT. That's drum replacement therapy. And we've also got the Blue Cat Parametry Q.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I've pronounced
It's
it right
It's a Parametric
so far.
version 3.
Version 3. Okay. And there's some cool updates we're going to discuss on that. And last but not least, we've got the Guild GA D30 and the Guild GA D50, which our very own Drew Craig is going to play, and I guarantee you it's going to sound beautiful. So stick around for that.
And the word of the day is restraint.
Yes. Which Britton is going to exercise today, I guarantee it.
Restraint.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get started. All right, so first up this week, we've got some viewer mail thanks to Thomas Brodkorp from Oslo, Norway. Thomas, I'm sorry if I slaughtered your name, but getting into Thomas's email, hi. First of all, let me thank you guys for a great show, and I think we all welcome you and thank you for watching along. I've gotten a lot of inspiration from many Crosstalk episodes, which I have used in my projects. As it is, I am just starting out with the whole recording thing, and I love it. In connection with this, I'd really like to see some more material on how to in recording music. But even more important to me is how not to, especially with drums and vocals. If anyone knows how not to better than Britton Weatherall, I don't even know where else to look. I think I'm in a very similar position to many of the viewers regarding the amount of gear available for each project, and so the challenge is to get the raw tracks as good and workable as possible, but with limited resources. I really loved the episode on how to mix the drum kit, but how about you give a few hints and tips on how to get a good set of raw drum and vocal tracks to tape, disc in my case. I'm not thinking only of microphone choices, but mostly of different ways of getting good results, as I mentioned, how not to do it. Keep up the good work. By the way, Dan, you're right. Sonar kicks ass. From, again, Thomas Brodkorp from Oslo, Norway.
I got a question for you, man.
For me?
No, for
Thomas?
For Thomas.
Uh-huh.
How's the Norwegian metal scene?
I
Awesome.
bet it's
Yeah.
it's brutal, man.
Is it brutal?
Is it brutal in the best of ways, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, brutality is a good thing.
So
when it
here's the
when it
deal.
comes to- I mean,
We'll answer
obviously.
your question if you import us some Norwegian black metal.
Yeah. Well, from the email, it doesn't sound like he's that into metal. I mean,
Yeah.
he's fairly.
Send us some freaking Norwegian black metal,
I'd like
man.
to find out what Thomas is into.
I mean, I don't really mind. If you're not metal, that's okay.
To kind of briefly answer your question about what not to do with drums, don't over mic, especially if you're going for a specific sound. There's also don't forget to add a room mic if you're looking for room tone.
I think that's actually a mistake for a lot of amateurs. You're not recording in a great spot, and I think the thing you want to do is take the room out of the drum or take the room out of the recording as much as you can.
That's a popular thing, but sometimes you want a good dirty room.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I think if you want something sounding like professional, radio professional, I know that's not everyone's bag, but if you're looking for that, a lot of times you want to take the room out and then add the room in with DSP.
Sometimes I've heard some really good recordings that are done with just the room tone itself.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you have all the legendary stuff. The thing is that like those good recordings, probably the most popular is the drum sound on When the Levee Breaks. Yeah, it's like one microphone in a stairwell, but it was a particular stairwell, and they're recording through some of the best equipment like ever, like
Who
assembled.
recorded that again?
I don't know who recorded it, but I know they were using like
I did.
I know they were using like just like the best channel strips. Wonder Audio is the guy who actually made their EQs. So I mean, he didn't make their EQs, but he actually bought the transformers that were left and then like reverse engineered them, and he makes them now, and they're excellent EQs. They're some of the most musical EQs. So I mean, you have that, and you have excellent preamps, and you have a pretty good
Yeah, but like the thing
room.
is rooms. It depends. I mean, sometimes you get a really crappy room, and you're correct. You're really correct. But I would, I'm a very big proponent of simple drum mic setups where it's like 3 to 4 mics on the drum kit. You know what I mean?
I like the sound, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of my preference. But I also do. I mean, you may not end up using that room tone mic. You may end up deleting the track, but just putting the mic there, just in case you want to add a little bit of that, it doesn't hurt.
I would say if your room isn't that great, I'm assuming it's not that great because you're just starting out. I mean, you may be lucky and have a great room. I would say, yeah, if you want to add a room mic, but don't
Lean on it.
Yeah, don't sort of move your priorities to a room mic. Keep your best stuff on the close mics, because that's probably what you're going to end up using.
Experiment with it a little bit.
Yeah, but and it also depends on the drum sound. I mean, there's a lot of factors that you're taking into account. I think probably
and the player too.
Yeah. One thing that I would definitely say, because Dan is right on the money here. Like you definitely have a very good point. But I think what we need to backtrack even before mic setups and everything is what not to do is to not plan. You have to have a good idea of what you want sound-wise already. You know what I mean? Like we just had this discussion about sound, like the way that you would extract the sound. What you need to do before you do any of this stuff is to go back and go, hey, what kind of sound? Am I looking for a big sound or a small sound? Am I looking for a good professional reverb, saturated DSP sound? Or am I looking for kind of more of an edgier, trashy drum sound?
Yeah, and also, reference CDs that you like, music. I don't know, like if you like, I don't know, if you're a 9 Inch Nails fan, yeah, you're probably going to want to use a distorted room mic and compress the hell out of it. But if you're more into like the Barry White sound,
then you're going to want to just
do close mics, and that's it.
Mics, yeah.
And keep it real dry.
Yeah.
And the other
I'm
thing
kind
is,
of into both personally.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
the other thing is, of course,
Whatever
this is
you
pretty
need.
obvious. It's pretty obvious, but how you tune the kit makes a huge
huge
difference. And of course, there's only so much you can do once you've tuned the kit a certain way to make it sound that way. So
Don't tune it to notes. I'm full of shit. I'm sorry.
think about specifically what Dan and Britton said. Think about specifically what you're looking for and tune your drum kit accordingly. Because once it's recorded, there's not much you can do to change, like you said, the pitch or anything.
Well, you
like
can
that.
actually tune your drum kit to notes, which is interesting, but I don't actually recommend at this stage in the game even thinking about that because it is really kind of like one of those things.
They
That
got
is pretty
stupid.
they got like drum tuners and
Yeah.
things you can place on the drum to help you out. And actually, a drummer that came over to record at my place actually tuned the drums for me, and they recorded amazing. After that, and their notes. And another thing is you tune to notes that like your band is
Playing.
used to playing in, like notes in the scale.
Yeah.
And above that, experiment with where you put the drums in the room. Even if you don't have a good room, every room has its sweet spots, even the bad ones.
Well,
So-
if you're going to close mic, ring out your toms. I forgot to say that.
Bring them out.
Yeah, ring them out. Like get the sweet spot, like angle them properly.
Oh yeah. And what Drew said about it, if you are using fewer mics, where you place the drums in the room is extremely important. Like a lot of people will find that they'll get that they'll have too much like hi-hat and they can't really control it. So what you need to do is actually move the drum set further away from walls. So what you're getting is high frequency reflections off the walls, and that's actually a common problem. So you want to be further away from walls if the sound is sort of brittle sounding and you're getting too much like cymbals, particularly the hi-hat, which is mostly the most problematic cymbal.
Yeah.
higher ceilings are nice if you have the option.
Yeah. Not many people do, though.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't either. I had to get rid of the foam ball thing because it was like bugging me.
Yeah, it's a little ratty. It's been on the road.
Yeah, dude, it was like starting to like come apart. And
It's been
like,
loved.
near my mouth. It's just like
It's been loved. It smelled like Badussi. Anyway,
Yeah.
Don't want to know.
uncomfortable silence.